Hello world, welcome back to my channel. I am Sahil and I am developing a CRUD application using Bootstrap 5, PHP, PDO, MySQL and Fetch API of ES6. In previous video you have seen that how I have fetched all the record from database and displayed here. Okay. Now today in this video I am going to show you how to edit any user. Okay. So for this, open your project. So this is our project. Now first what I will do is I will display a bootstrap model when we click on this edit button, okay, like this type of model, okay, and we will display the previous values in this input field, okay, and when we click on update user, then the user will be updated into the database. Okay, so for this first we have to go to this index.php file, and to design a new model we will not design from the scratch, we will just use this add new user model coding. Okay, so just copy this whole model coding, okay, copy and paste just below this. Okay, now we have to change this add new to edit user model, okay, and also here edit user model. We have to also change this ID edit user model, just change this title to edit this user, okay, and rest will be same, just change this form ID value to edit hyphen user hyphen form. Okay, now next rest will be same, just change this button value to update user. Okay, update user, and also change the color of the button to success, and also change this ID to edit user btn. Okay, now next what I will do is here you can see in every input field there is an ID attribute with value. Okay, so we only need inside this edit user model. Okay, we do not need in this add new user model, so just remove all ID attribute from add new user model. Okay, so just remove all the IDs. Okay, now next we will do one more thing here. Just inside this form tag I will create one more input field with type hidden. Okay, type hidden, and name will be ID, and also assign an ID with value ID. Okay, now to display this model, when we click on this edit button, we have to do one more thing in this action.php file. So go to action.php file, and here you can see this is the anchor tag of edit button. Okay, so inside this we will add two attribute, data hyphen toggle equal to model, and data hyphen target equal to hash, and then the ID of the model. Okay, so you can see the ID is edit user model, so just copy and come here and paste, save this. Now go to browser, refresh, and click on any edit button. Okay, so you can see the model is displaying here. Okay, if we click on any of the edit button, then the model is displaying. Now next what I will do is I will get this ID value in ES6 coding, and we will send using Ajax request into the server, and by that ID we will get a single user from database. Okay, so for this we will do one more thing here. In this anchor tag we will just use a class edit link. Okay, edit link, just save. Now come to main.js file. Now here first what I will do is I will run an event on this t body. Okay, you can see this is our t body. Okay, so why I am running an event inside this T body, because if we come here and click on this view page source, then here you can see there is no coding showing for these record. Okay, because these records are dynamic. Okay, so to get to select any dynamic element that is coming from the server, we have to use something different. Okay, so just close this and let's see here. Okay, so first I will write a comment, edit user Ajax request. Okay, request, and here I will use T body dot add event listener, and then I will use click event, and then here we can use arrow function. Okay, so just pass e, and then here what I will do is we will use if statement, and then we will use e dot target and e dot target dot matches, sorry, matches. Okay, and here we will write a dot edit link. Okay, a dot edit link, and here we will use e dot prevent default also, and we will store the id in a variable. So just use let id equal to e dot target and dot get attribute, and we are getting id from attribute id. Okay, so just pass id here. Okay, if we go to action.php file, then here you can see I have assigned id in this anchor tag, and in this id we are displaying id of the particular record. Okay, and we are getting this id dynamically here. Okay, and we will send this id again to the server to fetch a single user from database. Okay, to check that the id is getting or not, so we can use console log here and just pass id. Okay, save this and go to browser, refresh, open console, and click on edit button. Okay, so you can see the id is displaying here. Okay, if we click on another edit button, then you can see the id of that record. Okay, so this is working fine. Now next what I will do is I will just remove this console log. Now we will send an Ajax request using fetch API to the server. So here what I will do is I will define an asynchronous function. Okay, so just use const edit user and use async keyword, and then here I will pass a parameter id. Okay, and now inside this function I will use fetch method. So just const data equal to await, then fetch. Now here I will use backtick. Okay, because inside this I will use a string literal variable. Okay, so just write action dot php, and now I will send two key value pair. So here I will first write edit equal to 1 and id equal to, and here I will pass this id, this parameter id. Okay, and then I will use method get. Okay, so we will use method get, sorry, get. Okay, and then we have to store the response in a constant. Okay, so just const response equal to await data dot. Now this time I will not use text, I will use JSON. Okay, JSON. For now I will use console log to display the response, so just use console log. Now we have to call this function here inside this add event listener. Okay, so just come here and call this edit user and pass actual argument. Okay, so we are passing this id here. Okay, now save this. Now we have to go to this action.php file to handle this Ajax request. Okay, so go to action.php file, and here what I will do is first I will write a comment handle edit user Ajax request. Okay, and here I will use if it's set super global variable get, and then here I will use edit. Okay, now to check that this is working or not, we have to send some string from here to the client. Okay, so I am sending echo JSON encode, because here if we go to main.js, here we are getting response in JSON format, so we have to send JSON encoded formatted data. Okay, so here I can use array. Okay, so like message and then success. Save this, go to the browser, refresh. Now when we click on any edit button, then we are getting this this JavaScript object from the server. Okay, now this is working fine. Now next we have to get the ID that we have just sent from this Ajax this fetch method. Okay, so here what I will do is I will create a variable ID, and we will use same super global variable get method. Okay, and here we'll pass ID. Okay, now next what I will do is I will define a method inside this db.php file. So just open, and here write a comment fetch single user from database. Okay, and just copy the same thing and paste here. Just change the method name to read1 and pass ID here. Okay, change this query to where ID equal to placeholder ID. Okay, now just bind the ID here, ID to ID, and rest will be same. Okay, save this. Now we can use this method inside this action.php file. Okay, so here what I will do is we will create a variable user, and using db object we will call this read1 method and pass ID. Okay, here now we will send the user. Okay, so we have to do one more thing here. We have to just use fetch, not fetch all, because we are fetching only one user. Okay, so we can use this fetch method. Now in action.php what I will do is we will use echo JSON encode. Okay, and just pass user. Okay, now if we save this and go to the browser and refresh and click on any edit user button, then we are getting the current clicked record in JavaScript object format. Okay, now we can easily handle these JavaScript object, and we can display all the input field values inside these empty input field values. Okay, sorry, input field. Okay, so just close this and come here, go to main.js file, and here what I will do is you can see in index.php file every input field has an ID attribute with some value. Okay, so I will use this ID. So just go to main.js file and just remove this console log. So first I will use document dot get element by ID. First I will assign value in ID. Okay, so just use value equal to response dot ID. Okay, response dot ID. Similarly just copy, and for first name I will write first underscore name and just change app name. Okay, L name, just change last underscore name, and email for phone, just write phone, and here just write phone. Okay, save and go to the browser, refresh. Now when we click on edit button, then you can see we are getting the previous value of the selected record. Okay, and if we click on this edit button, then we are getting that particular record previous value. Okay, So this is all working fine. Now next what I will do is, when we click on this update user button, then we will send the updated values to the database and update. Okay, so for this we have to use another Ajax request. Okay, so here what I will do is I will write a comment, update user Ajax request, and here I will use the same above coding of add new user Ajax request. Okay, so just copy the same thing, copy and paste. Okay, now we have to add something here. So this is for add form. Okay, so just copy the same thing, and here we will use update form, and here just change the ID to edit user form. Okay, similarly for this add model we will just copy and change this to edit model, and change here also the ID of the model to edit user model. Okay, save. Now just go below, and here we have to write update form, and we will again use submit event. Okay, and again we will get all the form data, but here we will use update. Okay, append update, and we will also validate the form, so this will be same. And here we have to change this button ID also, edit user button, and then all will be same. And okay, this is also same, this will be also same. Here just use edit user button, and this will be same. Okay, so here we have to write update form. Here also we have to write update form, and here we have to write edit model, and here also we have to write update form. Okay, and here also we have to write update form. Okay, form data, update form, and update form. Okay, I think now all will be same. Okay, now let's check. So for now I'm just using here console log to display the response from the server. Okay, so just use console log and just comment all the below codes. Okay, next we have to go to action.php file, and here we will first write a comment, handle update user Ajax request. Okay, and here we will use if it's set, and then we will use super global variable post, and then here I will write update. Okay, and we will use print r, and then we will use post method. Just refresh, click on edit, and click on update user. Okay, so we are getting all the values here. Okay, with ID, first name, last name, email, phone. Okay, and if we change something like Harry, okay, and click on, then we are getting the updated value also. Okay, so this is working fine. Now next what I will do is I will also define another method inside this db.php file to update the existing user. Okay, so just come here and update single user. Okay, now here we will define a method public function update. Okay, update, and here I will pass ID, and we will also pass all the values as parameter. Okay, so just pass, and next what I will do is I will use SQL variable. Inside this I will write SQL query. Okay, so here I will write update users set first name equal to name, last underscore name equal to name, email equal to email, and phone equal to phone. Update user set first name equal to name, last name equal to name, email equal to email, phone equal to phone, where id equal to where id equal to id id. Okay, our query is ready. Now just create statement variable, and then using this we will use this con variable, and then using prepare method we will call this SQL variable. Okay, now next we have to just use statement and then execute method. Okay, so just write execute method. Now here we have to pass all the values in array format. Okay, so just pass and one more id. Okay, and here just write id. Now next we will just use return true. Okay, return true, true. Save this. Now go to action.php file. Now here what I will do is just remove this, and then here we will get all the values. Okay, so just use id, and then using util we'll get we will test the input field post, and then I will write id. Similarly we will do for name, and here also just write name. For last name just select this and this name, and for first name, last name, and for email just write email, and for phone just write phone. Okay, id, first name, last name, email, phone. Okay, now we will use if db and update. Here we will pass id, then name, then name, then email, then phone. Okay, if this will execute successfully, then we will use echo, and then using util we will use show message method, and then we will use success type, and here we will write user updated successfully. Okay, and if something went wrong, then here we'll display the same message here, some error message here with type danger. Okay, danger, and here write something went wrong. Okay, save this. Now go to main.js file, and we will not use this console log, so just remove and uncomment all the below code. Save this, go to the browser, refresh. Now first I want to update this user. Okay, so click on edit, and I will only update this first name. So here I will write like John. Okay, John Doe. Okay, and click on update user. Then we are getting user updated successfully, and here also you can see the user updated. And if we go to the database, so just open PHP my admin. Okay, and this is our database, and this is our table. So inside database also the user updated successfully. Okay, so that's it for this video. In next video I will show you how to delete an user when we click this delete button. Okay, so thanks for watching this video. Please like, share this video and subscribe this channel. See you soon in next part of this series.